tipple. Yeah, I'm a big tipple. Put up or shut up. Put up or shut up. I'm a tipple. Yeah, I'm a big tipple. I'm a tipple. I'm a big tipple.
They say the rap game dead. I object. That's a low blow. Taking copycatting off each other. That's a no-no. Keep this original or just not even no show. I'm a big tipper. When I spend it, I'ma flip ya. So girl, drop it really low. Show them how we for the flow. Candy yam and stick and ball. Feed me and give me more. Haters gon' hate when they see us running state to state. The way that we be tipping, man, up this on some other shit. Down on this dude. What you mean? That's another chick. Coming in, going out on some other shit. Try to rip us off. Best believe it, that's a no-go. Never trust nobody, even family, that's a no-no.
I'm a tipple. I'm a big tipple. I'm a tipple. Yeah, I'm a big tipple. I'm a tipple. I'm a big tipple. I'm a tipple. Yeah, I'm a big tipple. Put up or shut up. Put up or shut up. I'm a tipple. Yeah, I'm a big tipple. I'm a tipple. I'm a big.
Hey everybody, it's Anna Marie. I am live on the powerofvoices.com here with my friend. That's a Comedy Hour Live, and I got Honey. Honey, you sitting in with me.
Yes,
This
thank
is
you
Honey.
for having me.
Honey does a show before mine called Honey's Closet. I also have Lee, Crash Klondike on the board.
Dang, what's up with that?
What's
boy?
up with that, man?
What's
we got
up
a lot
with
to
you?
talk about.
You know
It's been
what?
a lot of crashing
I'm
and burning.
just blessed to be here.
Yeah,
Just-
but
you
you know
ain't-
what? As soon as I let
Really?
him go free, do his own thing, this is what happens.
This is what
when
happens.
I keep an eye on him, nothing happens. As soon as I let
I
him
went
go.
batshit crazy, buck wild.
That's it. That's it. And we're gonna
But
get.
it wasn't me. It wasn't my fault.
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that about you. I just want to give a shout out. Big Ja. Big Ja was on my show, and he tried desperately to help me supplement a guest tonight because my comedian had a last-minute gig. And that's all right because that's a business. Got to do what you got to do. But as everybody knows, and I really, you know, the idea, we flash up the telephone number on the board, right? They can see it.
424-227-9461.
You know that by heart.
No, I get it. I have dyslexia on the last four.
Wait a minute. I haven't even said anything. People are calling in. Who that?
I was just checking.
Given that, make sure it's ringing. But of course, everybody's talking about Roseanne Barr.
Right.
Okay.
Bye.
Now I had asked.
I want an accent tonight.
I had asked my comedians. I was really hoping to have comedians call in on that because a lot of people are talking about it, and I know that there's going to be a billion people that are going to talk about what she said. Everybody knows what she said. She made a racist remark. But for me, the subject is the reason why I want to talk about it is because for a lot of comedians, the idea that there's a lot of fine lines out there that a lot of comedians will run over. And what is the difference between, like somebody had said, if you're a comedian up on stage and you think you can tell racist jokes and, and the only thing that I can honestly say, and by no means, I mean, everybody who knows me knows racism is such a huge issue for me. It really it hits me right to my core. And the fact of the matter is there's things that people still do stand-up comedy. And I've had comedians say there's nothing off limits. But it's pretty much like when you're running a family show, by the way, and you're representing a certain aspect of time slot on TV, and you're representing Disney, my mind is like, you have actually gotten to a point in your career, for her to have done that, is like, to me, it's just like all the Weinsteins, everybody who thinks that they're above
the law.
Not just the law, the moral.
The moral.
The moral
Here's the thing,
law.
and she has black people on her show now. Because one of the daughters, matter of fact, Sarah Gilbert character, she has black kids. She's adopted or something.
Right.
Black kids.
Somebody said that about,
so, and I heard Wanda Sykes was on the show. And
yeah,
she said she's not coming back.
No, she said see you before they
well,
even got
nobody's coming
canceled.
back now.
But the thing of the matter is like what struck me was that, okay, she's a big Trump supporter. And I was joking. I said, too bad Trump doesn't tweet some racist shit and maybe they'll cancel his next season.
Oh, my God.
But, I mean, there's so many things there that are so deeply rooted. But here, isn't it just freaking awesome? I'm sorry, I'd like to see a little bit of the goodness in this is what's finally happening is she was canceled as no sooner than she get that. She couldn't even
Right.
erase that tweet fast
She
enough.
couldn't even erase it.
And and I love the fact that look who's running that woman that the president of the president of ABC.
She's black.
Ain't that
I did
great?
not know that until
Surprise!
right before my show. I found that out. I
Right.
did not know she was black.
Well, I guarantee you, Roseanne knew that. And this is what I mean about really thinking that you are so above and beyond where you're at. I mean, just because you're famous and living in LA, okay, this is what I've learned out here is there's a certain thing about, and I'm watching people go by today on the tour buses, and they're all looking at stuff, and they're like, looking at the Stars home, and I'm just like, it's like we put them on this kind of like surreal godlike pedestal, and they're not. I mean, her statement shows you just how incredibly not that is. You know,
Right.
and like I'm just really blown away because, I really thought that, I was so glad for John Goodman.
Yeah, I
This-
like John Goodman. I
and-
really like him, and people were working.
I wonder if I could be the new Roseanne.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we beat the shit out of her. I said we find her and beat the hell out of
If
her.
they could take what's his name, Ashton Kutcher, and throw him in to try and do 2.5 Men, really? Then the idea of me being a Roseanne character, I could so play I think I'm older than Roseanne, to tell you the truth.
No, I don't think so. I
You
don't
don't
think
think
you're older
so?
than Roseanne. But here's the thing. Roseanne knows better. She's been in Hollywood.
Yes, I know she
long
knows better.
enough.
This is the
bitch
same woman who
knows
grabbed her
better.
crotch and spit. At
You know
the,
what? Yeah. But I never knew. I guess she's had some history of doing pushing the racial button. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And like I said, I used to watch the Roseanne show back in the day, and then I can't do the reruns. There's certain shows you watch, you just can't do the reruns. And I'm like, and so when I heard it got a new, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'll watch it. And I never had a chance to watch it. And I'm glad that I didn't, because how dare she, she says it's, whatever her name is, Valerie Jarrett, is basically the equivalent of Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes if they had a baby. First of all, what the fudge does that mean? What does Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes, what does that freaking mean?
It means that I am a racist and I want to give it the lowest director's hit to something
That's so mean.
that it's beyond me.
There's
I
only
mean,
one person
It just
in comedian history that I can say that I, in my time, that can do racist jokes and got away with it, and that was Joan Rivers. But Joan Rivers attacked everybody. She attacked Jews.
I
and
guarantee you she couldn't with the climate today.
I don't think that she would even do it.
No.
She would know
Well,
better
because there was
to
no
do something like that.
There was absolutely no there was, like you said, why would she it was an intentional
Yeah, it was intentional.
slay.
And then they want to come out, oh, I apologize, and I didn't mean it, and it was just bullshit.
Who does she
meant
think
it.
she is? Kevin
Yeah.
Spacey?
Right. And I like Kevin Spacey. I was hurt behind him too.
Yeah, well, like I told
like
you,
him.
I gave up that. Oh my God! When after the priest, nobody.
Now
It's-
they
it's
taking
like,
out Morgan
oh, okay.
Freeman and now Steve Harvey.
No, sir.
Yeah, this weekend.
Wait. See, I've been away. What up?
Yeah,
What?
I'm gonna let you
Terrible.
finish with Roseanne, and then yeah.
Yeah, we'll hit that. But all right, so if I was a comedian in today's environment, okay, it really is something that where, I mean, let's think about, okay, Kevin Hart. Think of how many people his shows incorporate. I mean, who works for him?
Right.
His crew is so spread out. If you took him out, I mean, I can imagine the whole idea of like everybody going on board and saying, "Now, Kev, now, I hope you never even think," because I know a lot of people. If I was working under any comedian that my paycheck depended on, I'd be like, "Now, you paid attention to that, right? I need my job.
Don't pull.
Don't
But
be
okay,
pulling that
so
shit."
as a comedian, I don't know how to say this, but where do they know where should they know to draw the line?
Well, because
you should know.
Okay, there's stand up.
Might be...
Stand up is a total different animal than what she was doing. Mm-hmm. And I would never, and this is my personal opinion, I would never want to muzzle the comedian on stage. And the reason for that, if you remember correctly, what was his, Richard, what's his name, the one from Seinfeld that he went on and he blurted out the N-word. Because it'll police itself. They'll lose, I mean, that's something that the audience is going to tell what the climate, but I still think that nobody should be censored. I just don't when it comes to doing stand-up comedy, and let that police its own.
Yeah,
because
so if she was doing stand-up and she said that,
totally different. If she was doing stand-up and she said that,
she would have got away with that.
She would have.
Should have got her ass beat right there on the stage.
I absolutely think that, but see the whole thing of it is they have the freedom of choice of the words they're going to use on that stage. That's your right. When you represent, I mean, whatever you say and you play it, you will pay. Believe me, I don't think just what happened to him, the way the audience turned on him, and that trickled into his career.
Right.
He just kind of disappeared too. Okay, but they weren't going to pull Seinfeld's shows because of it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I can see that because, I can see them not pulling
nor am I saying I agree with any of that, but when you talk to comedians, they don't, a lot of them will say that there's a lot to be said about censorship, about people being too touchy-feely. I had asked Guy Torrey when he was on the show, is there anything off limits for you? And he said, absolutely not. And I said, I'm really surprised. But the comedians know their audience as far as that goes. And I personally feel if you have a reputation for having racist jokes, I don't know of any clubs who's going to hire you. But I certainly wouldn't want to walk in the door and say, as I said, that was so extreme what she said. It was so wrong what she said. It wasn't funny. It was based on a personal attack that's a personal attack on somebody.
Right. Right. So do you think, had she been doing stand-up?
No, I think she would have paid. No, I don't think anything that she said was acceptable. I'm just saying, I really.
What do you think? What do you think that? Like, I'm curious now to know. Excuse me, had she been doing stand-up and she said that? First of all, I don't think that she would have said that in her stand-up because this is why. She knows better. Those words would have never came out of her mouth in stand-up because she knows that would have not been tolerated. She does it on social media thinking she has a big following and that it's social media. I'm joking. But here's the thing. You ever heard of, this is my term, of Facebook gangsters? Like, you can say whatever you want to say on social media because you can do it in your bed when you're by yourself. But you won't do that same shit if you're in somebody's face. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can call somebody out on social media and disrespect them and say whatever, but you won't do that same stuff right there in their face. So Roseanne would have never, I could be wrong, went on stand-up and said what she said in front of her.
No, I'd like to know what kind of freaking drug she was on or if she was obliviated out of her mind to make such an incredible, stupid choice of words. They were horrific. They weren't stupid. They were horrific.
Right.
I mean, this is a very educated, dignified woman, and if you wanted to call her something other than that, if you wanted to talk about maybe she dressed badly, okay, or maybe she didn't have a good choice in shoes,
right,
or maybe her breath smells.
Even had she just said, not saying this is right, okay. Not saying this is right, but even as she said, Valerie Jarrett is just an ugly woman.
Right.
If she would have just said, oh, that's just not a nice looking woman.
It was purely so incredibly, horribly racist.
Yeah.
And, I still can't, we've talked about I sang the national anthem.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so incredibly personal to people. And then I had heard what she had done for the anthem.
Mm-hmm.
And, there were some people who said, well, she's a comedian. What did they expect?
Right.
And I'm like, especially after interviewing comedians, what they do on stage isn't what transfers into their everyday life.
Right.
they don't get a free go card to be an asshole or racist remarks or disrespecting the flag. Or now that was disrespecting the flag as but when they had said that she had done that back then, my attitude about, and then I heard other things about Roseanne, and then when I heard she was a Trump supporter, I was like, meh,
Fuck her.
not a big fan.
Here's the thing, though. Let me tell you about the national anthem. We're going to go. I don't want to switch the subject so much, but what do you think about the NFL now saying that they're going to fine players who don't stand for the national anthem?
I think they have no business doing that.
And here's the thing. People are saying, well, it's the national anthem. They should. They're making all this money. You know, I asked my brother, we had a conversation. He feels, he agrees with the NFL. It should be fine. I go, but if you listen to the whole song, the original song, I mean, the rest of the song is racist.
I'd never heard that. It's just...
Why do you think that is? They don't want you to know.
No, and you know, that's the end. Here's the rest of the story. But I also know this. The men and women that died, and I had a veteran say this to me, whether or not he agreed with the politics. He said, that young man's right to peacefully protest, I went to war for. This was an old... He said, and he understands it's not about the flag. Tebow kneeled to protest abortion in 2012, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
He did not get reprimanded, fined, threatened, endorsements pulled, transfer. He got all kinds of contracts, endorsements, because, you know, everybody was like, you know, Tebow was like Jesus walking on the field.
Right.
So, and it had nothing to do with the fact other than, and I really do believe this, yes, because he represented Bible, and he's white.
Mm-hmm.
Period. And for anyone to not realize that, it's like, this is the way I see it. The way that it looks and feels, and, you know, like I have a lot of friends who might go off the deep end as far as like the way I feel, because I'm so adamant about that. And they don't understand. A lot of people don't. They're like, you're white. And I'm like, I know I'm white.
No. Are you?
It's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, my skin's white, but whatever. So I'm like, okay, so let me get this straight. You want to actually deny the fact that this is all because it's like, someone had said to me, you know, that ceiling, you know, keeping people where they belong, keeping separateness, keeping chaos is what keeps all of us, what we're doing while they're running like, they don't care about us, the big to-dos, the people running this world, the people with the big bucks, the money, the people calling the shots. We're all just little pawns in their game. And if you could see how this is more of like, it's because it's a black-based issue.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know,
and I don't care who says it's about the flag, and it's about
it's not.
Not.
Well, first of all, Kaepernick said it's not about the flag.
Nope.
It's about the injustice of black people.
And yeah.
And minorities. And when you have police officers killing us on a daily basis, first of all, cell phones are the guns now. So if you have a cell phone, you're getting shot the fudge up. Right? So you have people dying because their cell phones are being mistaken as a gun, or they moved, they sneezed. You know what I'm saying? You have...
Yeah, but did you see, and this is, that was horrific. Someone had put together the mugshots of the white killers that killed mass shooters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the mugshots of the black men taken into custody over like nothing, traffic violation. And I'm like looking at this, and it's embarrassing for me to be a white person. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what?
I can't believe that. I can't believe anybody is denied. How do you sit because they can say the NFL is making it about the flag because they're riding it.
Oh yeah,
they're touching that.
Here's the problem. Sorry. White people do not want to admit that there's still a problem in racism. They want us to believe that we're making this up and that we're just being overly dramatic and you're going to stand for the flag. And here's the thing. If a person wants to stand for the flag or the national anthem, it's very patriotic. Like I said, when I go to NASCAR, it's so super patriotic because they have the national anthem and they have the flyover. So it's just amazing to see. And I stand I never think about, what Kaepernick is standing, whatever. But when you start thinking about what he's standing for, it's not necessarily saying disrespect the flag, but y'all disrespecting us. We are not making it inside the police cars. We are not making it to the jail station, to the jailhouse to get booked and charged. I don't care if we robbed a bank. It's no right to kill someone. We're not even robbing banks, though. We are sitting in our cars. We are standing on the corners at liquor stores.
I wrote a whole thing on that. I wrote a whole thing. It was, to be taken out, taillight, directionals. What else were they pulled over? I mean, and the only thing that I can say, we were talking about this because, okay, for instance, my guest, Big Ja, he's a big black man, and I said to him, do you feel, I recognize as a woman that there's certain things where I don't want to be pulled over by a police officer on a dark night. It makes me nervous. Mm-hmm. Okay. But you could be pulled over at 2:00 in the afternoon on the side of the road, and your life, you just look as big as you are.
It's an excuse,
right? It's an excuse, but there's also the climate of everything. Like, comedians are doing a great job because they've actually, when I've gone to shows, made jokes from like I said, disaster into laughter, and they put the point across. Guys joking about being out with their white friends, and the white friend yelling Black Lives Matter, and he's like, not now, brother, not now,
right?
Because you basically, he says, he knows as a black man, this guy's shooting his mouth off. It's going to get him in trouble. It's going to get his ass beat. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh man, that's so real.
Well, you know what? All this shit has to stop. I don't know where it's going to stop. I don't know how to stop it.
Well, it's already started to stop. This is the thing. This is huge. I was so...
Where has it stopped?
They pulled the plug on her like that.
Oh, well, Roseanne,
Let's just take a look at this. Do you know what the view... She had the #1 money-making networks. I mean, that decision...
That's huge, though, to pull the #1.
That was a huge statement.
And that's why I think she thought...
It's
gonna slide. I got the #1 show on
#1 show,
but
bitch.
she didn't. I don't know if she didn't realize that Shaniqua was. I don't want to make fun of her, but head of ABC. It's a black woman.
I love it. I love it. And so,
bitch, what did you say?
Yeah, we're gonna pull this. The power. All I thought of, like, they showed a picture of her sitting in the, the ABCs behind her.
They did,
right? Mm-hmm. And they show her sitting in, showing that she was the president. And all I kept thinking was Game of Thrones, like her sitting on that, and or Wakanda, like she's like, I'm serious, because like it's such a, to me, that is one of the biggest statements, and I hope more people understand that and look at the positive, that things are changing. That's
what it says
statement.
too. You know what it says too? Money's not everything, and that's what people need to understand. Money's not everything.
Well, it's becoming that because what's happening is they've had to answer for the bad behavior of the men, okay? And that's all, like, there's so much going on right now that is really kind of cool when you think about it, that people are saying, you know what? Your shitty behavior is unacceptable to us.
Right.
And you are not above it. You're not your money. I mean, Matt Lauer was on, like the...
Right.
Come on now.
But you know what, though? I'm going to say this, and I know I don't want to get hate mail or anything, but, I've been thinking this, but all these people are, what exactly are they saying that's being sexually harassed? Or that's getting them charged for sexual harassment? Are they saying, whoa, Anna Marie, I'm liking them rips up in them jeans? That's costing somebody their job?
I've been, you mean the women being really clear about where sexual harassment? That is sexual harassment.
Here's the thing, but is it enough?
Yeah,
okay.
dude.
Come on,
when you
if
you
a
work
man
for corporate,
tells you, okay, but listen.
Have you worked for corporate?
Yeah.
They are very, very, and I probably represent, I mean, from school, having a teacher, my brother actually went after him, having a teacher make remarks to me as a young girl in high school, to working for jobs where men, had the the upper hand, shall we say, and felt that they were above any kind of harassment. Sexual harassment lawsuits didn't happen when I first got into the workforce. Men
Right.
ran it like madmen.
Right. Well, see, I used to work for Verizon, and I was a recruiter for Verizon for an agency. So I would help the agency recruit the call center. Okay. And so there's HIPAA and all these things that you have to go over. These seminars, I would have to sit inside of these orientation is the word I want to look for, and go through this orientation with people. And you talk about sexual harassment and what we're not going to take and whatever. But here's the thing. Call me crazy. If a guy walks up to you and says, I love those jeans on you. Is that enough to go? To
No.
me, it's not enough to go and say,
No, but that's
this
not
is sexual harassment. But this is what I'm saying. I cannot believe that and maybe I'm being naive,
little bit.
but all of these men, all of these women, all of a sudden now and it didn't come out when it happened. It's coming out years later. Bullshit.
I'm telling you.
First of all, we're lying if we say we don't wear something and don't want to be acknowledged in it. I don't want some guy telling me, oh, you got a nice big fat ass, your boobs is whatever. I don't want that. But when you get dressed up and you put on your heels and stuff and you go out to a club or something and a guy says, damn girl, you look good. No. Some of these men are losing their jobs over some bullshit.
You're talking about it's such a fine line, because I've had a boss actually tell me to turn myself around, and ain't that a good looking ass? If you think that ass is good, you ought to see her mother's. My mother and I work for the same gentleman. He's dead now, but yeah, my mother at one time was probably a mother of 4. She divorced. And, I'm sure my mother had to endure a lot of things that wouldn't fly today. I mean, she says she don't want to talk about it, whatever.
I'm sure, but I'm just saying, I just believe some of these things are just
if there is no time limitation on that. But see, here's the thing. It's always that, okay, now we've started this, where the guys make, the comedians talk about, and they've done jokes about it. I love the Instagram. When the guys are doing where all the guys are sitting around and the girls come in and they're like, hey, and they're trying to roll on them and stuff. And they're all like freaking out. No, like, get away from me. I don't, because basically men are saying, where is that line?
Right.
It's like, if it's sexual harassment, or if I'm alone with a woman, do I need somebody to sign? There's all kinds of things going on with that.
You need to inherit it. Is that the right word? The Muslim way of doing things when they go on dates, they have a chaperone.
Do they? Yeah, no
you
matter
need a
what.
freaking chaperone, because women, and I'm sorry, I love being a woman and I love women, but we are conniving at times. So if we don't get our way or something, just like the Bill Cosby thing. I'm not saying he didn't do anything inappropriate, but you some of the bitches is waiting 30 years. You knew what he was doing and you knew what your agenda was, and it didn't. I'm not saying everybody, but some of y'all know. Just like, what's her name? Dickinson. She finally came out and said she exaggerated her story. Well, she should go to jail.
Oh, absolutely.
You should go to jail, because a lot of you women was in there snorting cocaine and thinking, if I gave him a blowjob or I gave him some, I'm going to get an acting career. Well, guess what? You just sucked. Literally. You just sucked. And you didn't get what you wanted. And a man, listen to you, a man's going to come and tell you, girl, I'm going to do this for you. And I'm going to, let's go out, let's go do this. And you're going to give him some, because you think if I give him some, he going to whatever. And then you're going to be like, okay, I'm on to the next bitch. That's what the hell you get.
Yeah, but
that's what you get.
There's look at, in any situation where money is involved, there's all that. I mean, I would like to think in empowering women, the idea is, yes, you get caught exaggerating, wrongly accusing, you should pay as high a price as a person that actually did do all those things. That's the way I feel about it. As far as like, I've been in a club. Actually, it happens a lot where men feel free to slap my ass walking by. Men I don't even know, okay? That has happened to me throughout my life. I can't imagine being a large.
So what do you
breasted
do when
woman.
that happens?
They've already walked past. It's like, hey, yo, hey, really?
Throw a rock at
The
the back
other
of their head,
side,
they'll be okay.
well, I've said to my girlfriend, can you imagine us walking through this bar and just grabbing men right in their nuts? Just
They'll
walk,
love it.
just walk by them. Not all men.
Some men might be
some
like, hey,
men be
let's
like,
go.
hey, you, ho, hey, ho.
Oh, somebody's like,
Right?
okay, you own these now. You got, you
Right.
know. But I mean, come on.
And the idea of aggressive women, strong, powerful women, aggressive, men don't like that either. Men like that's the man thing. Very few men would like it if women
If the tables were
aggressively,
turned. Yeah.
if the table would turn. I really don't know as far as like all the details behind every allegation that has happened, but I do know, well, we got our eyes open to that. We got our eyes open to a lot of things. I mean, I've made jokes and said when I walk through a crowd of, if they're white, they don't say shit. It's like, I don't appeal to that. I walk by a bunch of brothers, I'm going to appeal to that. I don't mind that. Okay, it's always done tastefully, except for the crackhead. That was hilarious. I did have to tell you that. Did I tell you about this?
No.
My daughter rents a place in San Francisco, okay? And for Airbnb. And she gets a really nice, where at the top of the hill, you can see that there's urban sprawl happening where people with money are buying into, they're not the higher end of the money pole, but they get the money to buy these houses. San Francisco's so expensive.
Oh my God, yes.
And it's in a predominantly black area, which you can see up top of the hill. Houses look a lot nicer. They're buying them up. They're doing them up. At the bottom of the hill, across from the school, the elementary school, in front of the school and across from the school, there's a store. Is all drug addict crackheads, and they're drinking and what have you. They're all hanging out, sprawled all over the place. And I've got to walk up the hill, past all these people, and I decided I'm going to walk in the middle. It's a huge street where they have angle parking, so I'm walking up the street and going by the school, and I hear, hey, baby, and I'm like, oh shit, hey, baby, and I see this guy coming after me. Oh wait, shit, goddamn, and he's talking to me and he's yelling, and as he's getting closer, what he's saying is, you be a white woman, how you get that ass? How you get a fat ass like that on a white woman? Man, your ass. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And now he comes up to me. Of course, I grab my phone like I'm on my phone, like that'll deter him. And and I see he's messed up out of his mind. He's got his crack pipe, and he's going, you want some crack? You want to smoke my crack? You want to smoke some crack? You want to suck my dick? You want crack? You want crack? You want to suck my dick? Oh, you got a big ass. You got a big ass. So I'm like looking at the guy. And of course, like I joked and said that how I became a crackhead out in San Francisco. Do I want to suck your dick or smoke your pipe? Let's guess. But it's like hilarious as to this guy's out of his mind. I was scared to death. And the whole time I'm thinking, man, I got to go on a diet. This man is yelling out, white woman with a fat ass. Look at that ass. Ain't right. You don't see a woman like that. So, for me, the whole experience of that moment, yes, did I feel terribly harassed? Extremely harassed. There was nothing gracious about a crackhead chasing. I don't care what color he was. That he was a crackhead chasing me up the street based on my fat
Trying
ass.
to get you to
either smoke his pipe or
give
suck
him a
his
blow.
pipe. One
Give
or
him
the
a blow
other.
blow.
Give him a blow blow. You want a little
Let
something,
me
something?
think. Let me think. You're a crackhead.
Do I want the pipe or do I want to suck
Don't
the
want
dick?
to. Yeah.
Really?
Let me see. This is such a hard decision.
And of course, like the comedian part of me wants to look at him and go, "You sweet talker, you." Because I mean, really, does that line actually work? But it's Jimmy Crack, the cat, the crackhead. So my girlfriend says, "Did he follow you all the way up the hill?" No, I said, typically he starts yelling over me, Lorraine, what you doing, Lorraine? And they're yelling and screaming back and forth, and she's drinking her brown bag of whatever. And I had a friend of mine who said, when you realized that you were in a black neighborhood, why didn't you leave?
Well, what's wrong with our neighborhood?
And I was laughing,
It's
going,
an upper class neighborhood, right?
"Oh no, it's not an
Oh,
upper
was
class.
it? I
No,
thought you said it was like houses on
up
top
the
of the
top,
hills.
way up the top."
Oh,
So in
okay.
other words, it literally M1 Street over. It was the strangest, but you could see what's going to happen is eventually, just like every other area, and it's a shame because there's families, but they'll price them out. Mm-hmm. As far as like even just people who deserve to be there. Crackhead don't deserve to be there. They shouldn't be hanging out in front of a damn school either. And that killed me too,
it
because I'm
shouldn't.
like, you could see young mothers walking their family and their kids, what the kids are, the whole time I'd be like, yep, you don't go to school, it's going to happen to you.
Right. Well, hell,
be like Jimmy
not even that.
Crack-Corn
You can go to
crackhead.
school. Well, you know what? You can go to school and be smart and be. There's so many people on Skid Row that are doctors and lawyers and whatever, and they just, sometimes being too smart or drives you crazy.
Oh yeah,
Drives you
there's
crazy.
crazy.
Drives you crazy,
There's crazy
yeah.
town too.
Yeah.
I'm like going, well, as far as like being able to, you could put me anywhere and I would be fine, and I really do believe that because it's something. I just got to think about people, and yes, if your situation was different, and what I've learned about drugs and alcohol, it really doesn't care from that level all the way up to what you're saying, doctors, lawyers, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't care.
It doesn't matter.
Addiction claims you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
It does.
This is the other thing too. Like I talked to a friend of mine about with the thing about hip hop music and the message and what the music is about now. And people say, well, what do you know about hip hop? And I'm like, I'm all about words. I love as a singer. I'm also and a dancer. I'm an awesome dancer. You got a beat that's incredible. These songs are unbelievable. The beats are incredible, but the words that they're putting out with the songs, I'm sorry, it's like this one long story of how many times can you rhyme tits, ass,
Right.
dick, and I mean
That's all we hear about.
But the industry, let's think about this. Here you are, we're talking about kneeling for a cause. Mm-hmm. Okay. The mistreatment of black people. Mm-hmm. Okay. And yet the industry, without you even realizing it, is supporting and feeding, keeping you there mindset-wise. I don't care what anyone says, by endorsing and promoting the music that doesn't really... And I mean, don't get me wrong. The music's great, but... Let's think about the hit songs, Percocet.
Oh my
the
God.
song that's out now that I am just like crazy about. Oh my God. I did the recording of it to a car, and it's just like I'm listening to the words, and I'm like, oh man, why do they got to do that to such a great
That's what gets
beat?
you is the beat gets you. Like my song, my go-to song was Bad and Bougie. I just love the beat. The words made no sense. I do not know half of the stuff that they like before. Rap would be a story, whether it was the
Exactly.
gangster rap or whatever. It was the story. So it started here. There was a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it stayed on track. Now they go from the 2-piece and blue cheese to the strip club, and it's like, wait a minute, okay, wait. Why were you eating a 2-piece and blue cheese? Because you never explained that in the song.
You never
But now
explained
we're
that
back-
in the song.
I don't understand, and it goes back and forth. But it's the beat that gets you.
It's the beat that gets you, and
I'm gonna write a song.
you know what? It's a beat that gets you, and the other side of that is, I'm gonna get out of this. I never even posted that. I'm so media impaired. Okay.
No, well, let's talk about her face, her Instagram. So, I wake up the other morning last week, Wednesday, getting ready to head to my trip, and of course, I check my social media, and I go onto my Instagram, and I see where I'm tagged on your Instagram, and it's a video of me just
Doing it. You can hear the song though in the background.
huh?
You Big Tipper.
Yeah.
You can hear that.
Yeah, I'm like,
that was a lot
okay.
of fun. But there's nothing in there that. I mean, you can sing that. It's got a great hook to it.
It's great. But I was just like waking up to see my big old ass. And
You
I
look
don't mean
good,
I don't
girl.
mean big old ass as an
She
ass. I
looked
mean
good.
just big girl.
And you can move.
Well, can I?
Yeah,
You know what?
you gotta, listen, I would never post anything if I didn't think you look good in it, because I want to stab people who just get out there and just like take a picture from where you would never post it and be like, yeah, I'm going to tag her in this. And I'm like, seriously? That's evil.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, look at me. And I'm just like, Big Tipper.
Yeah. Yahweh
like,
posted
okay.
that. Yahweh Poetic. He put that up on his story feed. And
Oh, I have to check that out. I have to go
and he
check it out.
really liked that. And I want to play a little bit of that song. Okay?
The song that you like.
Bring a friend if she with it. On the pole, y'all can split it. In the bin, on the lamb. Get your bitch sucking dick on the ground.
All right.
D12, help me get up out the jam. The trunk full of slam. R.I.P. Lil' Peep, I gotta slow down on them jams. Just at a Menage.
Who is this?
Oh, this is a hugely popular song. Great beat, right?
Who is this?
Okay. Let me think in a second. The song is just like whenever I hear it, I lose my mind over hearing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you hear what he said, you know, on the ground, suck a dick, vitamin B12, and I'm just like, wow, I can't believe that with a beat like that, what you could actually give out as a message. And it's just like nonstop. It's like, really? Isn't anyone getting bored with it?
Oh my God, I am. I'm sorry, I'm listening to you, but I'm like going to his. I am.
Yes, you are. Look at that. And swipe up to get the information about the song.
I am on it. That is so cool.
That's right, baby. He's got you on there. I told you that.
I'm on Yahweh's
feed.
Feed.
Her doing Big Tipper.
Isn't that awesome?
Doing that dance. Now, we were talking, let me tell you something. LA is just, you take your life in your hands every time you get in the car. My engineer, my program director, Lee Michaels, was hit by a drunk driver. What was that you're driving? And if you weren't in that.
I'm driving a 2017
What were you driving?
Chevy Suburban. Yeah, that's probably total. We don't know for sure, but according to the tow truck driver, he says, I've towed a mini car. He says, the kind of damage you have here to the frame of the car, it's
gone.
total. Yeah.
So here you are, and we were talking about this. Here he is at a red light, going through an intersection.
Yeah,
right.
I've got a green light on my side. I'm
You got a
rolling
green light.
through. Yeah.
Now, did it just turn green?
No.
This guy is just flying through the friggin' red light. It wasn't even trying to beat the red light. Basically.
No. There were people stopped going southbound on Sepulveda Boulevard. He was in an open lane. He was just barreling down the road. Okay. I'll tell you how long the green light was green on my side. After he hit me and spun me around 360 degrees, I looked in my rear view side mirror and the light was still green. So it wasn't like it changed while I was in the intersection.
See, this is the thing. This is the thing that I've been saying. Like, I've been talking a lot about on my Facebook page, is that you are given minutes in life, moments, and you don't know what. And your expiration date is tattooed on your ass, and we're all walking around like, we got it. Mm-hmm. You're gonna be here. Hey, next week. You like to think next week. But I could have just got a call saying, yeah, you know your engineer? Yeah, you ain't doing a show tonight. He gone. And it is in the blink of an eye, everything can change.
Absolutely.
And the only grace of God that you're here is because, you folks got to understand how big a Suburban is. And that guy swung you at 360 all the way around.
Yep.
And then proceeded to hit other cars. I asked Lee if he was alive. We don't even know if I can't even make out his car.
Yeah, I think it's either a Toyota or Lexus, one or the other.
Yeah, nothing left but a lot of mangled metal and tires.
Yeah.
Just it's incredible to me.
2 of my tires were blown out.
Yeah,
the driver's
from the
side
impact.
front and the rear passenger side. From the spinning, it just took it off the damn wheel.
Basically, I sent you a video of some NASCAR crashes, and you totally tried to imitate them.
Yeah, right? Maybe you didn't get that memo.
If y'all can do it, I can do it too.
But you have that. Like, I was in the car accident that I got in, and I was waiting for that woman. She pulled out in front of me and came to a dead stop, driving a Cadillac 55 miles an hour. There was just, like, no way that I was going to end up getting out of that vehicle, okay, and not feel like in 1 second, because everybody kept saying 2 seconds either way, you wouldn't be here.
Absolutely.
Right.
Drunk driver hit me on the highway in 2006, and he was doing 100 miles an hour. And when I saw him, and this is no shit, this is the way my life is, I put in a cassette of me singing, and it was these recordings I had done at the studio. Mm-hmm. And I'm listening to him, and I have this thought, and I said, oh, my God, they'll be like, how vain was she? She was listening to her own recordings. Ha, ha. And I look in the side mirror, and his headlights coming dead at me. So instead of, like, I had only I would say probably 2 seconds to react. I jumped on the gas pedal because he was coming directly for me. Had I been stopped and not in motion, same with you. Had you have been stopped and not in motion, yeah, they were like, your truck was airborne. It went off. It rode on its side. And I'm skidding the highway on 2 wheels. I didn't have my seatbelt on, by the way. I've worn it ever since.
I did, yeah.
You're lucky because you wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And you think about that, and it's like, man, every minute that you're given, and people don't realize just how much a gift it is, and the people in your life. You know, I try not to leave things unsaid because I always feel like the last thing I could say to someone is the last thing I fucking say to them. So if I try not to leave things on bad terms.
Yeah.
You know, and try
As
and say something nice to people that you randomly see because you really don't know, okay, what is going to be that last time that you see somebody.
Right.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, there's also this incredible thing about how even defying all odds, I get back in a car. When you've been in accidents like that, you get left with a lot of like, fuck.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When you're driving.
I'm still going through that.
You can't forget post-traumatic stress.
Yeah.
That feeling of total helplessness.
What ifs. And what ifs and all these things that could have happened. And
it's all being replayed. It's like a replay going on in my mind right now. It's like the moment that the crash happened, my car spun around and I see this video of somebody standing on the cell phone and just going around 360 degrees.
Yeah.
And that's being replayed. And then when
Isn't it weird how it's all slow motion?
Yeah.
Because when my Cadillac got hit,
and
I can still see the 2 dump trucks that were carrying, I can still see those headlights, but it happened so fast, but it was like time stopped.
Yeah, yeah.
And as I was going through, and people go, what ran through your mind? I went, oh man, this is it? This is
the
it?
end of it.
Right.
This sucks?
Yeah.
Are you shitting me? And I thought, I had such a shitty day today.
Right?
Well, so you know what that tells you? When you have those experiences, right, when something like this happens and you make it through. You know, if you need to change your life, if there's something you didn't do or reach out to someone,
left unsaid,
do
you have, like for me, okay, here's something. Do you have all your passwords written down somewhere where somebody can access what they need to?
No.
All right, then. You need to do that. And my friend, the only reason why I'm saying this to you is I waited on a gentleman whose wife went in for a simple operation, and she had a reaction to the anesthesia. And she went into a coma. And she had been in a coma for 3 months. So there was all kinds of complications. This was a young guy with little children, and he was telling me she did all the bills. And I have a grown man who's having a complete meltdown in front of me because she left no passwords. He does not know how to get into his bank account. He can't access, he was saying, all the important things that you keep on your computer that you have passkeys for. She didn't write them down anywhere. That has stayed with me because I think a lot of people people don't even understand. Of course, then there's the flip side where I'm like, all right, I said to my daughter, I'm writing down all my passwords. Don't go through my phone.
See, and that's what you have to. Well, first of all, when you're married or whatever,
just bury the shit with me.
You
have
to know those things.
Yeah.
As you say that, I'm thinking
married,
about
but
it now.
If you're single, you got kids.
Or your kids,
right?
Like I'm thinking now, my kid. Well, for the most part, people. It's so easy to figure out my password, but I have to change certain because my son Darius has went through stuff and hijacked it. But for the most part, my password is something that most people are like, okay, we know what it is. We'll figure this out. But my kids know my password. But there are new ones that I have that nobody knows.
Yeah, well, whatever. If it's not important, that's fine. Things that should never be seen. And then let me ask you something. Have you ever done anything that in the era of social media that you wish you could undo? I mean, you were saying this. You said you have always been responsible enough on social media. You are aware.
Well, always. I'm not going to say I've never. Like, for example, the thing about for me, this is where I'm lucky and blessed. I have someone in my life, Jersey Sweetie, who will call me and say, "Take that down right now," because I tend to first of all, I wasn't a big fan of social media. And it wasn't to my radio show and stuff that I started, okay, I got to be on here. So then I started, you get addicted to social media. So you start, I sometimes get so angry and I need to vent. And so I say something because I really want the person or whoever, you know, or the situation, I want it to be known. You've pissed me off. And so I remember
Pick
one
up the
time.
phone and call them.
Right, no,
I know.
wait.
Well, here's the thing. People don't always pick up the phone and don't pick up your phone because I am one who will call you first. I will.
Do you have any photos in your phone that you would not want? Okay.
No,
do you have any?
Well, no. I think because I'm not one to do the nude send out. That's just something. Not saying that I haven't sent them out, but only to my man.
But wait,
I would not send them out. So when you send them
look
out,
at the movie
delete it.
stars who have had their sex tapes.
Well, because they put these pictures in their phones and they're sending them out. If I take a picture for my dude, then when he gets it, I no longer need it. Who said hello? Hello.
Hello.
I didn't hear it.
I just
I
say
heard
hello.
that. Someone said hello.
Yeah. So if I take a picture for something for my dude, once he gets it, I don't need it. So I don't have any of those pictures in my phone.
All right, and you don't have to worry about those showing up.
Well, when you send it to someone, they now have it, and it can end up anywhere from there.
Well,
that's how
I
these
would
sex
like to
tapes
think
get out.
True. I would like to think that the person I sent it to, that he would never.
You're so naive.
Well, I don't. I know he can get really angry, but I don't think that he would ever.
How do you think Kim Kardashian? And
I
all
know,
those have
but I
gotten
would
out
think.
there?
I don't. I maybe I'm naive, but I don't think that he would.
I don't
show
know
those
how
pictures.
you ever. I mean, to be that exposed publicly, you know, everybody's like, all right, on the fast track to being famous. You know, the idea of like, and I really think about this. Like, there's something to be said about a mindset to be famous because you really are. You really, when you're hated, the whole world is going to hate you. When you know that crucifixion that they do, and it's not just that. It's like people actually enjoy seeing people fall, and the mob
Well, you know
mentality,
what?
feed them to the lions.
You know what? I tell you this: if there's not a lot. We didn't do a lot of sending pictures, right? I didn't do a lot. So if he does, and he's a very vindictive person, we all know who we're talking about. But I don't think that he would. But if he does, I will fly out there and whip his ass. Because,
but would you be? I guess my question is like the idea
going
is
down.
you have children.
Yeah. Well,
Is
and
that
I
your
get it.
biggest concern?
Yeah. Well, my kids are grown, so if my fear would be 1, mom, and 2, he did what? Because my oldest son is very, very quiet, as well as my youngest son, protective of their mama. So if someone was to do something, especially knowing the situation, because they know the situation, that he would do that, it would be really ugly. And so, and like I said, we never did it. I got a picture or two. I would never expose that picture. Or anything. I would never expose a picture of someone. But you do have to be careful because that's how pictures get out. When you have breakups or people get angry,
I'm just wondering,
they're going to go and show your pictures and get back
this
at you.
whole generation, you know, the generations that we have coming up, and anything goes. Some of the conversations, I'm like, man, you people just don't hold back, do you? And anything goes. They're very
Right.
they're very. I mean, you look. What's left to wonder about a woman, or you know, what they.
Nothing.
Everybody gives everything away.
Right.
So much of it. And someone said to me, you know, oh man, you write a lot of intense stuff, and you got this going on. My daughter's like, I can't look at your Instagram anymore. I just see my mother, and you know, there's a lot of things that, you know, when I look at the Instagram attention span of 60 seconds, and I go on and I see, you know, what has gotten 2 million views. It's like I could do a whole series of like the "What Are You Shitting Me" reality show and go, "What are you shitting me? You give 2 million views to this? It's like
That's how dumbed down the society
Yes, that's how
is.
dumbed down it is. And I'm like, oh my God, this is something that
You know what? People will give attention to stuff that they really wouldn't want to have in their life on a regular. So, like, people will look and, you see these women out here with, like, there's a picture that Lee just showed me of an old lady giving a blowjob. Well, first,
How many hits?
Huh?
How many hits has she gotten?
Oh, I don't know. It was one of my sick-ass friends sent me the pictures. So I don't know.
Old lady.
Yeah.
Oh, lady.
But when
She's
you
somebody's
put
grandmama.
things out there, these girls are out there putting their boobs on social media, naked and whatever, and guys are gonna look. Guys may hit, but that's not really what you want in your life.
This is
forever,
what
and
this
that's
is what
just-
I'm saying. Like, okay, you get married, you have a family, and then all of a sudden, all the stuff
This
on your
comes back.
social media. I mean, these young girls are like, yeah, you will change. Every single one of you is going to change where you're at, what you're aspiring to be, what you were doing, and eventually certain things will bite you in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
That my generation was like, yeah, man, we did that. No record of that.
Well, people are going to grow up, hopefully, and they're going to change. Not everybody's going to be in the limelight.
You think that outfit
Not everybody's
you
gonna
decided to wear looked
Not
bad?
everybody's going to be a social media, Instagram thought or whatever. So eventually, hopefully, your mindset is, okay, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to go to work. And when you go to work, people will respond back.
Whoo! Damn. Look at that poor bitch. She don't know. She don't know. They told her it was a hey, you want yourself a
You are
popsicle?
crazy.
And she's like,
She
"This
looking
ain't
like,
cold."
"This
I
ain't
just
no
had to look-
popsicle. What
I just
flavor
want
is
you to know
this?
what I had to look at. What a way to end my show. What I got to look forward
She's
to.
looking like, this ain't the popsicle I thought it was. I
I'm
don't
saying,
taste
this is
nothing.
like, what?
Oh, you're going to taste something in a minute.
I'm sorry, speaking to this mic?
You're going to taste something in a minute. Poor grandma.
Oh.
Now, the fact that that's somebody's great grandma right there.
Probably.
Giving
yeah.
a blowjob.
Giving a
Yeah.
you say it ever so eloquently. Man, she's
Sucking a dick.
she just looks like somebody stuck it in her face.
Like, now what?
Poor little thing.
she
she
looked
don't
like
know.
she might not know at the
And
time.
she said, "What do you
might be
mean?
a-
I can't. I'm trying to say but I can't. My mouth is too full." What?
yeah, and that's like
She
a
looks a
little
little
fatty
surprised.
too.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. She looks
Yeah.
a little surprised in that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Do they have geriatric porn that somebody's
They do
into
now.
it? They do now, right?
That is disgusting.
Oh my
that's
God.
pretty
Well,
bad.
you know what? I'm hoping next week. Like I
just
said,
gotta. Well, okay. Well, I
What-
won't
what'd
say
you get?
anything. I won't say anything.
somebody commented on that. Somebody,
No, about next week, but we'll talk about it later.
yeah,
Yeah.
not here. Anyways, I hopefully next
She
week.
lost me so damn quick.
So next week, I will have a guest on my show that will actually show up.
I believe we are.
Is we confirming that?
I'm confirming.
Okay, so you're confirming that.
I'm confirming.
Okay, everybody. Next week, my guest will be Sizzle C, and I am psyched about that. And we will actually have a comedian in the house.
Yeah.
That
and I
will
believe
be-
he's going to stop by the closet first.
He's going to stop
on
by.
the way on to the
Yeah, you got
Anna
to check
Marie
out
line.
Honey's Closet. She's on from 8 to 9, live on the Power of Voices.
Yeah.
And just remember, whatever happens in the closet stays in the closet. Me, on the other hand, you know me. I'll see you out there. Take me out, Lee.
Yeah, I'm a big tipper. I'm a tipper. I'm a big tipper. I'm a tipper. Yeah, I'm a big tipper. Put up or shut up. Put up or shut up. I'm a tipper. Yeah, I'm a big tipper. I'm a tipper. I'm a big tipper. Tipper bags. I got tipper bags. Yeah.